Okay, so welcome to the What's Working Now call. This is our private Ecom Insider call. This is our year-end call, actually, since it is December right now. We're near moving up on Christmas, and it's looking pretty exciting. So, I actually had some different training that I wanted to teach you guys set aside for today. However, when I started thinking about it last night, I was thinking about what we were doing with our academy coaching students and what we're doing with our Black Label Mastermind, which our Black Label Mastermind is actually getting ready to meet next month. And we do a kickoff to the year every year the same way. And it's been very, very beneficial. And, this has been kind of a roller coaster year for a lot of people in e commerce with, all the new Facebook changes, different platforms, Facebook ads not working the way they used to, and AliExpress, all the different, and then all these softwares and things like that. So a lot of people have had a real roller coaster year, and they may not really be sure where they're at right now. So what I decided to do was, rather than give you guys any more tactics or methods or strategies or anything like that, which you guys have tons of that, you don't need that right now. What you need is a plan, and what you need is a way to make sure that whatever you're doing is actually helping you get to where you want to be, and that the business you are building is actually something that you want. Okay, and this is something that doesn't get thought about most of the time unless it's brought to your attention. So we're going to take you through some exercises today that will help you do your year-end planning. Okay, and it's we're going to start with some really tough questions and some things that aren't going to make you happy because you're going to have to think about things that are not work that didn't work or that you were less than happy with, and then we're going to figure out how to re-engineer that and put it into a plan for 2017 that's going to get you exactly where you want to go. Does that sound pretty good to you guys? Now, what I can tell you while you guys are typing is that it's not woo woo at all. This is not personal development. This is not, you know, law of attraction, sit there and think happy thoughts and, manifest unicorns or anything like that. None of that's going to happen. Okay. This is actual, it's going to be very tactical training, but around more of how do we plan out and engineer the exact business that you want. All right. Okay. Okay, so actually, and let me just back up a minute before we get into the training. Now that I set the stage for that and left you guys wondering, kind of an open loop, but let's talk a little bit about some things coming up for Ecom Insider that are very exciting, and I can't wait to share with you guys. Number one, the Ecom Insider members area is getting a complete facelift and reorganization of content and things like that. I find it's a little bit clunky right now. When we originally designed it, we liked it and we thought it was good, but then the more we had more users in it and the more we started getting feedback, we realized that it's not laid out in the best way to be able to utilize and find things easily, especially when you're brand new. Some people would log in and go, "Hey, where's all my stuff?" Well, let's make sure we can position it better for you. So that's underway right now, and the goal is to have that finished before the end of December. I'm relying on some outside help for that, so that may change. But it's really exciting that we'll have all that redone. Additionally, one of the other reasons we're redesigning the Ecom Insiders members area is that we have a suite of apps and tools that we have used internally at BGS that we are now building into a user interface so that Ecom Insiders can, from their Ecom Insider account, log into these tools and use them. Okay, so these are one of the first tools that we're doing is we have this really awesome image editor that you can upload all of your own images to and customize them and design them so you can make Facebook ads on the fly. You can create banner images. You can create images for your email, things like that. It's something we've been doing for ourselves because a lot of our team they're not Photoshop savvy. So we needed to have a tool that was utilizable for people who were not into Photoshop. So this is a very simple tool and it automatically uploads them for you and gives you a link so you can start using those images. And that's going to be built in to the Ecom Insider membership. And as long as you're an Ecom Insider member, you'll have access to that tool. That's the first tool. The next tool coming out is we have some email marketing tools that are going to allow you to get more bang for your buck out of your email marketing with, scarcity timers, inventory countdowns, all kinds of automated pieces that you can set up with a few clicks inside of our software and then take the link or take the code, place it in your emails, and use that to increase the conversion rates and the call to action and increase just the overall money you make from the email marketing that you do. And then we have another tool. Actually, we've got 2 or 3 more tools coming as well. We're rolling them out one by one to make sure they're live and perfect for you guys. And they have a really nice user interface. The tools that we've been using have a real clunky user interface, and that's not really good for you guys. But when we decided to open this up to our Ecom Insider members, we decided let's give it a fresh UI that's really easy to use and everything like that. So that will be available to you guys very soon. We're looking by the end of January to have the tool members area, the auto login functionality, and the first or second, maybe the first 2 tools, but for sure the first tool live for you guys. And as we add more tools, they'll be added to your dashboard, and they're all free to use for all Ecom Insider members. So that's pretty cool, right? You're not only getting the information, but you're also going to be able to get the same tools that we use, and you guys are going to get those as long as you're a member. So again, like I said, guys, I take care of my Ecom Insiders. You guys are my close blood. You're my family here, and we're going to make sure you guys get all the best perks and benefits and stuff that BGS has to offer. And also, for those of you who are in the Academy, Academy members also get access to these tools. Nobody else is going to have access to them. We may open them up for sale at a later date, but I doubt it. Not really sure on that because we're not really a software company. We're a training and education and e-commerce company. So I don't really want to go down the whole software sale route. So we'll probably just keep them as internal tools for all of you guys. All right. And we've got some additional trainings coming up and different pieces uh, that are happening. Oz, no, the email marketing tool is not the only tool that can bring back your investments. There's about all of them can. Especially being able to create automated GIFs for Facebook ads to get higher click-through rates, video ads, things like that. The image tool that we are doing even does image overlays specifically for emails, so you can get higher click-through rates on your images that you embed in your emails. They're all tools that help you get more of an ROI. And that's the whole reason that we're giving them. They're not just convenience tools. They're actually tools that you're going to need on a daily basis to make more money in your business. Well, they're not magic. They're tools. They have to be utilized in with consistent marketing. Awesome. Okay, so that's what's coming up. Now we're going to go ahead and dive into a year end and looking ahead for Ecom Insider. Raphael, User Grow, no, that's a separate tool. Okay, let me get this headphone thing working so it's not in my way. Okay, so moving ahead. Now the year is over. We got to kind of ask ourselves a few questions. All right, so guys, get ready to get a little bit nitty gritty and in depth here. We're going to be really diving in, and I'm going to make some statements and show you a few things that are probably not going to make you feel really good at first. But once we get past this, then we can look ahead, and I can show you how to set the stage to make sure that your 2017 is way better than your 2016 or your 2015 or whatever. So when you look at the end of your year, what have you built? Okay. For most e-commerce entrepreneurs right now, the sad part is what they've built is a glorified job. Okay. They have quit their regular corporate job or whatever else, or their regular business, and now they're an e-commerce person, and they're chained to their computer. They're working all the time, and they actually work more hours than they would work at a regular job, and sometimes for less money because they're building the dream, right? And you know, you really don't have a business, you have a job. And because your e-commerce business doesn't make any money unless you work it. All right. Now, this is not the case for everybody, but it is the case for a vast majority of people. And what I want you guys to do is, as we're going through this, I want you to chime in. I want you to answer. Nobody else can see it. Just go ahead and chime in. And, let's see. Does this fit you guys? Do you feel like you have a glorified job? Your business really isn't a business because it doesn't make money without you? This is where you're at, and this is what we have to fix. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people are saying yes, 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 that's me. Okay. Additionally, you have to be a magician every month. All right. So you have to basically create money out of thin air for your business every month. That's not a real business, guys. A business should make money ongoingly, right? But in this case, your business starts over at zero. If you have a great month and you do $10,000 or $20,000 or whatever is a good month for you, the next month you start over at zero again. All right. And that's not cool. You have to start from scratch just to get back to where you were at the end of the last month. Not only hit that, but then at that point you have a chance to grow. But if you don't do that, you actually didn't grow, right? And there's no lasting momentum. All the stuff you guys are doing on a day-to-day basis is not really building up to anything that's going to create any synergy or create any kind of momentum or, rolling stone type of thing that's going to help your business. The idea in building a business is that the things you do compound on each other to create a better end result. However, most people's businesses, and I look at a ton of them, guys. I look at the e-com insiders, look at my academy members, I look at my Black Label members, I look at tons of businesses on a weekly basis, and most of these businesses have all of these things. Okay, they have no lasting momentum. The second the guy stops running the ads, the business is over. Okay, or the second you run out of stock on that one product, the business is over. That's not a business, guys. That's flipping cash. And then there's no realistic exit strategy. There's no way for you to stop doing this business. And I don't mean exit strategy necessarily by selling your company, because while it sounds sexy, it's not realistic for the vast majority of people who build an online business. It's just not going to happen. But that doesn't mean that your business still can't have an exit strategy for you. Okay? I'm sure that you don't plan on working as crazy hours as you are now when it's time to retire, right? Or when it's time to start enjoying your golden years, right? You want to at least slow down or have someone else take over the business, but nobody's building the infrastructure in place to plan for that exit, okay? So we're going to do that now. So for those of you who are, this is what your 2016 felt like, it's going to get a little bit better, okay? So now it's time to ask yourself some tough questions. Again, this is setting the stage for what we're going to go through in the workshop. Do you work too much right now? Are you putting in way too many hours for what you're getting? Does your business operate without you? And go ahead, guys, chime in as we're going here. Stay with me on this. The more interactive you are, the more you're going to get out of this training. So does your business operate without you? If you stop working, is it still going to make money? Or is it going to make more money while you're gone because you're not messing things up? Or is it going to completely fall flat on its face because you're not there to support it? Then this is where it gets a little tougher. Do you spend enough time with your kids or your wife or your significant other? William, yeah, William says, you're describing me and my current business. So this is another thing that's crazy. I have two kids, and I know a lot of you guys have kids too. When you work all the time, it's hard to spend time. And then also when you come home or when you get out of your office or leave or whatever, a lot of times you're so burnt out or you're still thinking about business that you're not even present when you are with your kids. You're playing with your kids and you're checked out. You're thinking about something else. And that's not fair to them. It's not fair to you. And your wife's getting neglected, or your husband or your significant other, whatever. Okay, so these are things. If you are not like, are you working too much? If the answer is yes, okay, then what are we going to do to fix that? Does your business operate without you? If you say no, okay, what are we going to do to fix that? Do you spend enough time with your kids? If you say no, which most of you guys I guess, are going to probably say no, we got to fix that. Okay? And same thing with, wife, significant other, things like that. And then the final question is what you are doing now actually contributing to your family's retirement or your goals or your family's goals? You're building this quote unquote business, but is it actually contributing to what you want, or is it taking you further away from it? You know, you're building a business that you wanted to work, part time and have the rest of the time to spend with your family, but you're actually working double overtime instead of that. Things like that. Joel, I can totally relate to that, being a workaholic. I love what I do, and it's very easy for me to work ridiculously long hours. Okay, I have to actually check myself before I wreck myself, right? Check myself so that I don't do that. All right, I have to pull back, and I have to force myself to take time out to not be like that. But the thing here, guys, is the reason I'm asking you these questions, and I'm asking you to ask yourself these questions right now, is because as we go through our day to day, as we build our businesses, as we just work, we're so busy caught up doing the things that need to be done. There's no time to reflect on what is happening. Okay. There's no time to reflect on, do I actually work too much? Will this work without me? And is what I'm doing contributing to the goals that I set? Because you're so busy just doing, there's no time to think. Okay, and that's why I'm asking these questions. For some of you guys, this may be the first time you actually took the time to think about questions like this in relationship to your business. this entire year. How many of you guys are like that? Just go ahead and throw in a one or yes or whatever if you haven't considered this kind of stuff. One, William. Okay, cool. So a bunch of you guys are saying that, yeah, you never have considered it. Not that you never have, but you haven't considered it recently or with enough kind of thought process to go, wow, I need to fix something. You're too busy to stop. Exactly. So, guys, we've asked ourselves these questions. And now that they're kind of bubbling in the back of your mind, that's the best thing that can happen. It may make you feel uncomfortable right now. It may give you a little bit more stress, anxiety, things like that. But that's actually really good right now, because what's going to happen is now your subconscious knows that those are things that that are important, and it's going to go. Your subconscious is going to go to work on, in the back of your mind, kind of solving and thinking, well, maybe I should do this or change this or whatever, and it's going to start going. And then when we layer in the workshop we're about to dive into on the next slide, you're going to start to have a actionable plan that you can put into place to figure out where you want to be, the type of business you want to build, and how to actually do that and engineer your business in such a way that it provides these things that you want. This is your non-negotiables list, right? You have to have a non-negotiables list in your life. And once you build that non-negotiables list, it actually needs to be non-negotiable. You don't just adjust it from time to time as you feel like. Okay, so you guys still with me? Is this making sense? How many of you guys are feeling a little unsettled by the thoughts that you've had since I've asked these questions? Yep. Okay. Good. Now we're going to solve it. That's good. Good. Awesome, guys. I'm just reading. So someone said, yes, I know I need to change that. I knew the problem was there, but I haven't done anything. Just didn't know what to do about it. I've already been asking these questions. Too busy to stop. Okay, great. Now let's go ahead and let's not be too busy to stop, and let's dive into what we call lifestyle metrics. Now, a couple of you guys are in the academy, so you guys should have already gone through this because it's the first thing we make you do in the academy. And there's multiple parts to this, but today we're going to remove all the other parts, and I'm going to focus just on the lifestyle metrics. Okay. Now, one thing, guys, this plays really well. Those questions I just asked you, those play really well with the reality check that I give you guys in that first issue of Ecom Insider. So in the issue, the very first issue that you got, the letter from me to you talks about, figuring out how many days you have left and what you're doing with your time. How many of you guys actually did that exercise first before I go on? It's in the first issue of Ecom Insider. It's the very first letter thing in there. I write a letter. How many of you guys were kind of shocked by that, by doing the math on that? Me. Okay. Freaked me out. Crazy. Yeah. Very eye-opening, huh, Tom? Absolutely. Okay. And you know what? No matter how, yeah, Will says depressing. No matter how big that number is, it's never big enough, right? It's not enough. So it's so important that we do make the most of what we have and the most of the time we have left and all of that. So with this lifestyle metrics, we are going to reverse engineer your life the way you want it to be and your business, okay? And how we engineer your business to provide the life that you want, okay? So when it all comes right down to it, all that any of us really want is freedom. We all say, oh, I need money, I need this, I need that, okay? But the reality is we just want freedom to do whatever it is that we want. And in this world, to have freedom means you have to have money, okay? Because money buys the freedom. You either have a lot of time or you're working and you have no time. But the thing that money will do, can allow you to buy time, okay, or buy freedom. And you don't have to have tons of money, but you have to at least structure it to fit your life. And to have any kind of freedom, you also have to have some kind of money. Now the problem is the pursuit of money will not get you freedom, okay? The people who focus on the money are the ones that wind up hating their life, okay? And the ones that wind up never getting the freedom or the goal or whatever that it is. And freedom means different things to different people, okay? It depends on what your goals and what your idea of freedom is. But when I say that, everybody has their own little picture in their mind of what that means in terms of the life they want to live. But the pursuit of money will not get you there, okay? Freedom will only come from the purposeful application of a strategic plan, okay? I want to help you guys get the freedom you want in your life. But most of you guys are just running around doing the monkey see, monkey do business building, throwing crap against a wall, and then going in 50 different directions at once. That's never going to get you freedom, guys. Read this sentence again. This is the truth. Freedom will only come from the purposeful application of a strategic plan. And right now, we're going to jump into how do we get that strategic plan. So let's make it real. What does that mean? It's very that was the whole woo-woo section, right? That was the most woo-woo I ever get. But whenever I hear woo-woo stuff, I'm like, cool, that's fun. Now how do I make it real? Well, let's do it. So it's important to dream, yes, but don't just dream it. You need to live it. Okay? It's fine to talk about wanting it, wanting what you want, but until you break it down and make it actionable, it means nothing. It's like what's a goal without a deadline? A dream, right? You have to make it real. You have to make it actionable. You have to reverse engineer the process of what it's going to take to get you to that dream, that life, that whatever it is that you want. Okay? And until you've done that, until you've broken it down to make it actionable, you have no clear path to achieve it and no idea what it really takes to get there. Okay? Now, let me give you a perfect example of this. In the online business world, what's the magic number that everybody wants to achieve in their business? When they're starting a business, that first number that everybody wants to achieve. Guesses? No, Oz, that's way bigger than what most people want. It's $10,000 a month, right? That's the magic thing. Miguel got it. Yeah. Everyone's like, man, if I could just get my business to making $10,000 a month, if I could just make $10,000 a month, my life would change. Blah 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 blah, right? Everybody talks about that $10,000 a month mark. But talking about it and actually doing it are two separate things. And there's the reason that so many people don't ever get there is because all they do is talk about how they want it, and then they just kind of nose down and try to get there. But they've never took the time to say, hey, if this is the number that I really need to hit in my business, then what are the steps I need to take to make sure I get there? How can I reverse engineer to make this actually happen? Okay, and break it down into a math problem. And people are like, oh yeah, well 10,000 is not enough. I need to make millions. Okay, well you currently make $2,000 a month, and telling me that you need to make over $100,000 a month, that doesn't really add up, right? If you've never made $10,000, you're not going to have the skill set to make a million. If you've never made $5,000, you're never going to have this. You're not going to have the skill set or the plan in place to make $10,000. So we need to put the plan and reverse engineer it to make it actionable. Okay. And I'm not saying that someone can't make $1 million. You totally can with a plan, but nobody's going to make $1 million without a plan unless it just so happens to be that one lucky lottery winner or someone who gets, in a car accident and gets paid out on. I wouldn't recommend that second one though. So the best way to start out with making this real is to start out with reverse mapping. Okay. So we need to figure out what you actually want and or need in your life. Okay. Then now this is the real stuff, guys. This is not MTV Cribs crap. Like, what do you actually want and need in your life to have that great life? And then you need to determine what kind of income and business structure will get you there. So first we're going to map it out. Raphael, you'll get the recording of this afterwards, but let me get through it and teach you guys all this stuff right now. So we need to start by defining your life, what your life actually needs to look like or what you want it to look like, the ideal life, and then work backwards into your business. All right. So there's 5 questions we need to ask ourselves in terms of how we're going to build this reverse engineering, this reverse mapping process out. The first question is, what do you want? Okay, this is the lifestyle questions. Where do you want to live? How do you want to live? Do you want a house or do you want to be a digital nomad? What kind of schools do your kids go to? What kind of clothes do you want to wear? What do you want to eat? Those kinds of things. What kind of a lifestyle on a day-to-day basis do you want? Okay. And again, the important thing here, guys, is I keep saying it, but I mean it. This is not MTV Cribs. Most of us are like, oh man, that I need that. I need a house with 57 rooms and 44 TVs per room, and I need a 70 car garage and all that kind of stuff, right? But that's not true. Really, the reality in most people's lives is that if they had an extra $1,000 a month free and clear to do what they wanted with, their life would radically change. Okay, for the better. It would be a completely different life than they live now with only the application of another $1,000 a month. That's the reality of 99% of the population. Okay, so what do you really want? Okay, chances are you're living a decent life right now, but where do you want it to be? All right, that's what I want you to think about. Then you need to figure out how much your lifestyle actually costs. These are the money needs. Okay, so you've defined what you want and how you want to live. What does that actually cost? Okay, it's fine to say I want to drive this car or I want to live in a house like this, but you say those things as independence. But if that's part of your lifestyle, it's all part of it. So I mean, let's just use crazy numbers for a second to give you an example. Well, let's say that you need this a special like wakeboarding boat. That's 100 grand. Then you want this Bentley. That's 200 grand. And then you want this house. That's a million. Okay. Well, all those things independently are different, but you add them all up and that number gets really big. Okay. And then you got to figure out how to pay for it. And again, I'm not saying those are the things you need. I'm trying to use big numbers to show you that until you factor in a lifestyle and you actually map it out and build out the money needs, you haven't given it true enough thought to make it a reality or see how it's possible. You may realize that, whoa, this is kind of a little bit out there. I'm gonna have to do something crazy. Or, you might realize that, hey, I'm actually closer to this than I ever thought I was. And then you need to figure out, once you have what your money needs, you need to figure out what your target income goal is. Okay, this is the money factor. How much income do I need to create in order to live the lifestyle I want? Then number 4, what do you need to retire and or exit your business and, go into retirement? Do your golden years, okay? This is the lifestyle, okay? And then finally, how do you want to conduct your business? This is another lifestyle question that's very important. If you want to be location independent and traveling the world and running your business from a laptop, like some of my friends do, then the last thing in the world you should be doing is signing a lease on an office and warehouse space. And yet I have friends who have done exactly that. And they're miserable because now they can't live their lifestyle that's so important to them because they've built a business that doesn't support and fit their lifestyle. Okay? So it's very important that you think about that, how you conduct your business in terms of what you want to achieve. Now, if you want to be a one-man show, but your lifestyle cost is something ridiculous that you would be bottlenecked and never be able to get there, well, then now you have to reconsider. Hey, if I want this lifestyle, I can't be a one-man show because it's going to take a village to help me achieve those kind of numbers. All right. So you need to consider this stuff. Is this making sense so far? We're going to get into the technical stuff now, so I want to make sure you guys are still with me. Okay, so these are the 5 questions you need to ask yourself. Okay, so then what do you want? This is the first step. Okay, so you need to list out what you want and how much it costs per month. Okay, and if there's yearly or quarterly expenses, you want to break those down into monthly amounts. So what we're doing here is you're basically going to create a quote unquote budget for the ideal life that you want. Okay, and you need to have everything broken down there. Okay, now this is a very basic example. It doesn't include a lot of extras, but I'm going to use this basic example to help you kind of see the process, and then as we go through, your breakdown of what you want should be much more detailed. You should have things factored in like your food, your utilities, everything. What does it cost? Do the research and map it out. All right. So the basic example here is cars. So I want 2 cars, Jaguar XJL, Audi RS7, $2,000 a month. 5,000 square foot house, $3,000 a month. Vacation condo, $1,000. Private school, $1,000. Monthly travel, 2,000. Extras. This is where I just kind of lumped in a bunch of example stuff. Utilities, food, stuff like that. An extra $4,000 a month. Insurance, all of that. But this is again basic example. I want yours to be excruciatingly painfully detailed so that you know exactly what those numbers look like. Okay. Do not do it this quick and give up. Okay. Jaguar, car cost, insurance cost, other car, insurance cost, kids' health insurance, all of that. Yeah. William says health insurance is already 2K a month. Exactly. So plug all those things in there. So I need you guys to build this out. In this example, the total lifestyle cost is $13,000 a month. And I would have to, say that this is a pretty comfortable life, right? It may not be MTV Cribs, but you're certainly not starving, right? You're doing pretty good and you're happy. Or you're having toys and you think you're doing pretty good, right? So let's just take this as our example to move through the rest of the process. Okay, so now we got to figure out what it actually costs. So the total lifestyle cost is $13,000 a month. Now, is that all? I mean, if you make $13,000, do you get to keep $13,000? No, right? You have to account for taxes, right? So what we do, and we're going to use a 40% number, I'll explain that why. We're going to account for taxes. So we're going to say that 40% is our tax rate. Okay, that's ridiculously high. Most people are going to have deductions and things like that, but it's going to cover everything, and I'll show you why this makes sense later. So if we do $13,000 plus 40% in taxes, that equals $21,667 that we need to make every single month in order to maintain our $13,000 a month lifestyle. Now we're getting real, okay? So we just took a little step and we're like, hey, I want to make 13 grand a month. Okay, cool. And then a lot of people would just stop right there and their whole goal would be getting to $13,000 a month. And then they wonder why they still can't do the things that they want and why they have this huge tax bill. Okay, so we've already taken it one step further than most of the population ever goes. Now we know that we actually need to earn $21,667 a month in order to do this. Joel says, the truth is killing me, Tanner. Okay, it's going to get better, guys. Okay, so we've done the tax cost. We know what our total income needed to maintain lifestyle. So your homework from this step. Now, why I put this slide in here is so that when you guys are watching the recording later, you stop at this point and do the first part before going on to the second part. Okay? We're going to keep going, but right now, if you're watching the recording, stop. Do not go past this point until you've completed these two steps. Lester, stick with me, buddy. We're getting there. We were just talking personal first. Now it's time to do some reverse mapping. Okay? So now we need to reverse map both your business and your exit in order to create the lifestyle that you want. All right? Now, Lester's saying, are you just spending all the money that your company makes on yourself? Don't you need money for your company to grow? Of course you do. Of course you do. So that's where this next step comes into play. So the target business income goal, or BIG. When we talk in the academy or any of the Black Label, I'll ask people, what's your BIG? Okay. And when I say that, I'm asking you, what is your business income goal that your business needs to make? So we need to determine how much income your business needs to generate in order to support your lifestyle and fund your exit. So how do we do this? We take our monthly lifestyle income and we times it by 5. I'll explain that in a second. Times it by 5 to equal our business income goal. Okay, so in this case, our actual monthly income needed, the raw number, is $13,000, not with the taxes, okay, because our business is going to incorporate taxes. But we need $13,000 for ourselves. So we times that by 5, and that gives us our $65,000 BIG. So basically, for a $13,000 lifestyle, planning for the future as well, our business needs to generate $65,000 a month. And why is that? Because we break it down. Again, 40% of our income goes to taxes. Okay? Now, out of that number, you'll have your deductions and your expenses and all of that kind of stuff, and then whatever's left is going to be paid on your taxes. Then 40% also goes to exit funding. Okay, funding your exit from your company, whether that's growth, infrastructure, putting people in place to run the company, or also potentially just passive investment so that your money can grow. Okay, how many of you guys currently right now are setting aside 40% of your money to cover your exit? Joel's like, never thought about it, right? Okay, yeah, no. Okay, now do these numbers have to be identical for every business? No. These are guidelines. Okay. William said never even thought about it, right? Okay. Well, your future is very, very important. It's just as important as your now. Okay. The only thing that's not important is your past. All right. So, and then we have to have 20% of that money to fund our lifestyle. Okay, which is the actual money that we decided that was $13,000 to fund our lifestyle. The rest of it is going to taxes or exit funding. And inside the exit funding is the business growth and the investments and all the other stuff that you're doing, insurance, like life insurance, stuff like that, different things like that. Okay. So now it's starting to get even more real, right? Because man, originally we thought we only needed to make 13 grand a month. Well, now we've realized that we actually need to make $65,000 to make the lifestyle and the retirement and everything that we wanted a reality. So the next step is to figure out what you need to retire or exit. So how much do you need to be able to retire and still maintain your lifestyle minus the work aspect, okay? Passive income. Okay, so how many of you guys, when you retire, you want your lifestyle, your quality of life to go down? Anybody? No, at the very least, we want it to stay the same, if not improve, right? So, but if your income and your lifestyle is tied to your business and then you leave your business or you want to stop working it or whatever else, are there pieces in place to maintain that life? Chances are right now, no. You're not even thinking about that. All right, so it's very, very important. Now that you're going to say, "Oh, I still want to work." Okay, some of us do. Some of us are like Joe. We're workaholics. We love what we do. But guess what? You don't want to work as much. I guarantee you that. Your priorities will completely shift by that point in your life. You're not going to want to work as much. So if you don't work as much, is the business still capable of producing as much as you need when you don't work as much? So these are all things that need to be considered. So the formula is your lifestyle cost times 12 months times 5% equals your passive income nest egg. All right. Now, this is a completely passive income. So this is going to scare people when I do this math. And I'll explain why, and then I'll back you down off the ledge in a second. So for example, we figured out with taxes on $13,000 that we need to make $21,000, almost $22,000 to cover our taxes and still live a $13,000 a month lifestyle. So we take the $21,667 times 12 months equals $260,000 a year. And if we take that times 0.5, that means we need to have $5.2 million set aside earning 5% interest every year in order to allow us to live a $13,000 a month lifestyle into perpetuity, right? Ongoingly. That's a huge number. How many of you guys thought that to have a $13,000 a month lifestyle with no work later in the future, you're going to need to have $5.2 million in the bank? So Joel did this part, but he used 10 instead of 5. Great. Why I used 5 is because anybody in the world can go out and get a 5% return on their money very, consistently and safely. Not everybody in the world knows how to get a 10% or more return. So we like to look at a lower percentage point than that, okay? Because you can count on something a little bit lower. You don't always take your best case, right? Now, don't freak out, okay? This is just a passive, 100% passive, no work income number, okay? Miguel, yes, it's a variation on MJ's stuff. We do it very, very similar. So here's the thing. What does this mean? Let's say you want to just exit completely and not work anything and just have all your money sitting aside and it's making money for you. That's the case. You need 5.2 to do this. But this is a passive no work number. So let's say you still want to work, or you're still planning on having your business and having it pay you a salary or whatever else. So if that's the case, then this number gets a lot lower. But I still wanted you to calculate it so that you realize what actually is entailed if it is a no work lifestyle. Okay, absolutely zero. Now, most of us are going to still have our business. We're also going to or have somebody else running it, or we're going to sell it, or we're going to have additional income streams, or whatever else, property investments, things like that. Great. This is where you start. And then, okay, well, if I also have, 5 income properties that are each producing me, $2,000 a month in, positive cash flow, then that was going to lower the monthly nest egg nut that I need. All right. So now we're getting more and more detailed into what we need. So the next thing you need to do, this is where we have to get back into looking back into yourself and figuring out what you want. How do you want to conduct your business? Your lifestyle should dictate your business. Okay? Your lifestyle should dictate your business. But right now, again, most of you, your business dictates your lifestyle. Does that make sense? How many of you guys can feel that? Totally. Sorry, I had to grab a drink so I didn't lose my voice. All right. So here's some questions you want to ask yourself to figure out your business. Are you going to be remote? Is that important to you? Do you want to be able to travel and pick up the drop of a hat and go? Or do you want roots or do you want wings, right? Do you want to live in one place? Or do you want to split your time? Or you want to be a snowbird and half the time in warm and half the time in cold, or warm to warm, or you want to go to country to country? What do you want to do? Are you going to work from home? Are you going to have employees? Are you going to be offering service-based offers that require your time in order to fulfill? Or is it something that is going to require a lot more effort to fulfill? Okay, some physical product businesses also offer services, and that can, definitely dictate your business. So, if you're going to work from home, but you want to build a $100 million company, okay, well, man, that's going to require some employees, right? To do that. You're going to have your employees come work in your house with you? You got to make sure you're not, it's everything matches up. Okay. You want to have a warehouse and do fulfillment, but you want to be location independent. Okay. When you first build a business, it's not like you can just leave it in someone else's hands and run off to, travel the world. You're going to be in there every single day, like Tom is at his place. He knows how he can't go jump around because he's location dependent, right? His business is localized and he has to be there. Okay. Now he can engineer his way out of it, but right now he's got to be there. So if you'd say your business needs to let you be remote and independent, then don't build a business that requires you to be dependent. Okay. And these are more structural things. So you need to ask yourself, know these answers so that when you go to make a decision, and like, let's say you want to be independent and you have a opportunity to partner in a fulfillment warehouse, you need to go, whoa, does this meet the goals I have for my business? Most people just dive right in. But if you have a list of things that are important to you and you keep them in your mind or written out at your office or whatever, you're going to be able to check yourself as things go through and make decisions based on what's the best for your business and your future rather than just, spur of the moment. Let's just run and fast and do something. William says, great points. Absolutely. It's very important. The answers to these questions are going to dictate how you structure your business and your operations. Okay. Don't let your business dictate your life. Make your life dictate your business, and then those become non-negotiables. This is my life. My business has to fit within this. Okay, now it's not always going to be a perfect, pretty cookie cutter, thing. There's going to have to be some things that change and whatever, but ideally, you're going to be better suited if you do this and answer these questions so that you know exactly what you want in your business. So, your homework, guys, again, if you're watching the recording, stop here. Do not proceed. You need to reverse map your business income, calculate your exit funding, and then answer the lifestyle questions. Okay? Have all that done before you proceed. Do not move on before you do this, okay? because you won't be able to do the next step. And you won't be able to do this step if you didn't do the step before it. Once you have this, once you have reverse mapped your business, you know your exit funding and you know your business lifestyle, we're going to move forward and we're going to figure out our business metrics. And we are going to specifically focus on our MIR, our monthly intake requirement. Okay. This is where we start getting exciting. Okay. Because we're going to remove the guesswork. Okay. So up until now, we've done some math calculations and everything else, but you've been left with some really big numbers for passive income and for your business income goal. Now you're like, how the heck does my business need to get there, right? So what we do is we turn our business into a math problem. We are going to solve for X. So if you make your business growth a game of math rather than a typical entrepreneurial guess, you will achieve more and hit success and your goals much, much, much faster. Most people guess at business, but business is a series of mathematical problems. And if you simply work backwards to do the math, you can figure out exactly what steps you need to take to make each thing happen. It's a further process of breaking it down into actionable and minute pieces. So you want to use your business income goal, your big, as the starting point, and then you work backwards from there using your business's existing metrics to fill in the rest of the pieces. The metrics I'm talking about is products, your price points, your conversion rates, if you have continuity, your campaign performance, your churn rate, if you have continuity, your refund rates, your click-through rates, your CPMs, your cost per clicks, all the different metrics that we already have in our business. We're going to use those to reverse engineer our business income goal and figure out how our business can achieve these things. Okay. So what we do is we fill out a worksheet, and this worksheet will be in the members area for you with this recording. I'm not giving it to you right now because I want you to watch what I'm doing, but you will have it in the members area. And if you're watching the recording, it will be below this video. So you want to plug in your product, sales, conversions, and ad data, and then you extrapolate the missing data using the known data that you have, okay? So in this case, you can see an example of a worksheet. Our business income goal from our example of a $13,000 per month lifestyle, we figured out our business income goal needs to be $65,000. So in this example, our business has two products. Product 1 is $79.95. Product 2 is $39.95. Product 1 has a 5% conversion rate. Product 2 has a 9% conversion rate. These are things that we know based on our data. Okay. And then we know, we can look at our ad click-through rates and all the known data that we have for each of these products, we want to plug in first. Okay. And then using that, we can figure out that, we sell more of the cheaper product than the big product. Okay, cool. And so you look at that and you map it out and you say, okay, so in order for me to get to that $65,000 per month business income goal, then I need to sell 375 of product 1 and 877 of product 2. All right. And from there, working backwards, well, my average click-through rate on ads where I sell product number 1 is 9%. Okay, well, if I have a 9% click-through rate and I need 375 sales on a 5% conversion rate, that means I need 67,500 ad impressions. Okay, and I know that my average cost per click is 33 cents. That's going to tell me that I have to spend $2,400 on ads in order to equal 375 sales using my known constraints. Okay, and the same thing goes on the second product. If I know my average ad conversion rate or click-through rate is 11%, okay, and I have a 9% sales rate and I have 877 sales that I need to make, that tells me that on a 9% conversion rate, I need 9,700 clicks, okay, to get 877 sales from a 9% conversion rate. And to get 9,745 clicks off of an 11% converting click-through rate, I need 107,000 impressions, and so forth back on through, okay? And then you just simply do the math. Now, you may have to do several different calculations here to figure out what makes more sense. You may look at this and go, you know what? We currently sell 200 of product 2 a month, and you know only, but yet product 1 actually it's easier to sell more of product 1 than it is product 2. If that's the case, then you will calculate it, you'll recalculate it with product 1 getting more. Now Oz says, oh, it sounds easy, but with Facebook's algorithm changes, it's hard to get the goals you are setting. Oz, we're not talking about specifically Facebook, okay? Number one, what we're doing is we're taking an average. So yeah, their algorithm changes, cool. So then you take an average and you don't use your best. If you're, okay, you take an average of your click-through rate, you take an average of your sales conversion rate, and then you plug it in here. What we are trying to do is reverse engineer so we can figure this out, okay? And then you take it down even further, all right? So this is in 1 month, we need to make 375 sales. Well, then what do we need to do? We need to divide that by 4 or divide that by 30 and figure out how many sales per day. Okay? If I realize that I need to make 1,244 sales of a product, then that means I need to make 104 of those sales, I'm sorry, in a year. Then I need to make 104 sales in a month. That means I need to make 4 sales in a day. Every day I need to make 4 sales to equal 104 a month, which will ultimately equal 1,244 a year. So you just do that. Now, this looks like, oh crap, how am I going to do 877 sales in a month? All right. Well, so Oz is like, this looks easy, but I can't do this. Okay. You need to make 877 sales. Divide that by 30, and that'll tell you how many sales you need to make a day. And that's a much more manageable number. Okay. Especially if you're running a variety of different ads, because you shouldn't just be running one ad to each product. You should be having a number of different ad sets and ads running. Okay, we have tons of products or that have ads that have 10 or 12 different ad sets or more. Sometimes we have 100 plus ad sets for a single product. It just depends. But if each ad set's doing 3 to 5 or 6 sales a day, this is very, very doable. Okay, and that's what you're building. Now, if you're not there just yet, that's okay, because you still need to know what these numbers are so you have a goal to try to get to. All right. So if you're, my business is just starting out, cool. Or if you just have products that you're evaluating, great. Plug the products you're evaluating into this and see what it would take with those products. If you're doing, guesstimation math, to see what it would take, and does that even look realistic? Okay. So here's an example with a sales funnel. Okay, because this first example was just 2 separate products that are static. They're separate. They're not in a funnel. They're nothing like that. One of the reasons we leverage sales funnels so heavy is because it makes this much, much easier. Okay, so this is a sales funnel. You can see on the asset side, we have product 1, which is the front end. Product 2 is the first upsell. Product 3 is the second upsell. Product 4 is the third upsell at different price points. And then you can see that our sales conversion rate for each different item. Now, since this is a sales funnel, we only drive traffic to the first product. That's the landing page product, right? Everything else is an upsell in the funnel. So we know that we have a conversion rate on the front end for an $8.95 product of 17%. Okay, and if we need 1,000 sales, this is an example math, I want 1,000 sales. Well, 1,000 sales at 17% conversion means I need 5,883 clicks. Okay, well, my average click-through rate is 9%. Okay, to get 5,883 clicks with a 9% click-through rate means I need 54,000 impressions, almost 55,000 impressions, and with an average cost per click of 46 cents is what my average cost is. That means I'm going to spend $2,700. Now, if your cost per click is higher, then make that higher. Okay, then everything else is simple, because through the funnel, the first upsell, all the upsells, they only have 1,000 clicks because everybody goes through the funnel that buys the front end. So if 1,000 people buy the front end, then you're going to have 1,000 clicks to each of your upsell offers. So 1,000 at 24 equals 240, 1,000 at 16 equals 160, 1,000 at 19 equals 190. Okay. So you can see here in month 1, we only hit $30,000 of our $65,000 business goal. Okay, or in this example. So we would actually need to do more. If this is our only thing, we'd need to drive more front end sales or increase our conversions in our sales funnel or things like that to get it to map out. So again, this is why I love recurring income. And with an MIR worksheet, it makes it totally apparent. When you have a business income goal to hit, but your business starts over at 0 every single month, it's very tough, like Oz says, to keep it consistent, okay? It's not impossible, it just takes more work, but with recurring income, it gets much easier. Tom, we're doing this as a gross sales number right now, but you should definitely do it again with your working profit or your gross profit. And we actually use a more detailed calculation where you can actually factor in your cost of goods sold and all of that, and then figure out what your actual working profit or operational profit is, and then that's the one you have to hit the income goal on. So it wouldn't fit on a slide like this. Plus, it would confuse people. So we're taking it much, much slower. So this is a month 1 example with the recurring income. All right, so product number 1 is our front end. Product number 2 is our upsell, and it's a $28.95 monthly recurring product. Okay, so they're going to join it, and they're going to get billed $29.95 each month. So month 1, we need 877 sales. With all this data, it spends $5,700 to get those sales. Of those 877 sales, 60 of those people are going to join the continuity program, giving us, basically $4,000 a month in continuity or recurring income. Month 1, we only hit $39,000 in sales. Okay, to keep it consistent for the example, we have month 2. Okay, so here's month 2. Month 2, we still have the same exact thing. We're going to make 877 sales on the front end. Nothing's changing there. And that means 60 people are also going to join our continuity again because 16% of the 877 join. So another 60 people. So we have 60 people on month 1 in continuity, and then from the previous month, we also have 60 people. This is an example. Of course, some people are going to cancel, but I'll talk about that in a second. For now, we have 120 people in continuity, meaning we have over $8,000 of our monthly income covered by recurring income. All right. Now, if we go into month 3, we're going to throw in churn rate. Now, churn rate is the drop-off rate of people who cancel your continuity. Okay. And I chose a 15% churn, which is fairly high, to give you a good example. So again, we make the same. Our goal again is to make the exact same number of front-end sales. We're not changing anything there. The exact same number of people come into our continuity because these are our baseline constraints we're trying to shoot for every month. So 60 new people join our continuity program, and from the previous months we have 120 people. Okay, so now if you look total, we have over $12,000 a month of our business income goal is being met by recurring billing. So technically that means that you could make less and less sales on the front end as your monthly income grows and still be hitting that monthly income goal. But that's not a good idea. You obviously want to keep making those sales and letting that grow so your business keeps growing. Now, with the churn rate, that means we're losing 15% of our people this month. So that means 18 people of our 120 are going to drop out. So we lost $521 of recurring income, but overall, we still have 46,000. Now, if you do the math, in 90 days, we had a 19% increase in our passive income, okay, over a 90-day period, 3 months. Now, you're going to say, oh, that took 3 months to do. Okay. What are you doing right now that's giving you a 19% boost to your passive income over the entire year, much less over 3 months? This is magic, guys. This is the closest thing to magic that there is in business. And this is how your monthly income gets very, very stable and consistent. Okay, I'll give you an example. In our businesses, our continuity covers our big in every business. Okay, our business income goal is covered by the continuity, not even counting the front end or other upsell sales that are made. And that's where you can get to with yours. And you know what? Then Oz is talking about how your ads are ups and downs. Yes, they are. But guess what? When you have the continuity giving you that stable baseline cash flow, it's not that big of a deal. Okay. Now, if you don't have continuity, start working on how to build it into your business. If you do have it, make it a bigger priority in your business. And this is why. But use this math to kind of figure it out. Now, if you don't have it and it's not going to be realistic for you to build the continuity in right away, fine. Still do your MIRs with what you have. You can make it work. It just takes more creative math, and you may have to add additional products. Maybe you have 2 products, but you're about as tapped out on those as you can get, so you can't get many more sales a month. Then get another product in there and see if you can blow that one up, or maybe get 3 products and spread the workload across multiple products. Okay, so then if you have multiple sales funnels, it gets even easier. So this is an example with 2 sales funnels, funnel 1 at the top, funnel 2 at the bottom. They each have their own, they're each independent. We have ads running to both of them. They each have different products. One has continuity, one doesn't. If you combine this together, now it's even simpler. This is how it gets easy, guys. You have two sales funnels. Now imagine if both of them had continuity running. The same program, but you have 2 funnels feeding that continuity. If that's the case, then it can get very, very simple, right? Funnel 1 generates $30,000 a month. Funnel 2 generates $46,000 a month. That equals a $76,000, almost $77,000 a month in sales. Okay? So the more you map this out, and you can see that it's not that business income goal is not that hard to hit, okay? And these are still the monthly sheets, okay? Then you want to break it down to a weekly sheet, and then you want to break it down to a daily sheet. You're like, man, I can't spend $2,700 right now on ads. Okay, but you divide that by 30 days. I bet you can. You're like, oh, I need to spend, you know, $30 a day. Oh, I can do that. See, you don't look at you if you look at just the big numbers, you'll never take action on it, and you'll never get there because big numbers are not achievable without systematic, and deliberate planning that gives you a very proven step-by-step sequence that you do every single day. Hey, I know I need to make 4 sales of this product every day, no matter what. So then you do whatever you have to do to make 4 sales of that product every day. Product 2, I have to make 3 sales of. Product 1, I have to make 4 sales of. And that's your goal. You build your entire team, your whole operation, your one-man show, whatever, around hitting those very simple daily goals. And then if you do that consistently, it takes care of your business income goal. So this is very now if you're just using a store without any kind of upsells in place, that makes it a little bit harder. You may have to spend more in advertising to get there. It can be done though. It doesn't. Everybody's business is going to be slightly different in what the math looks like to hit those goals. Okay, and make sure that you actually have the profit to do it. But using the MIR worksheet and the MIR process and the reverse mapping process and the reverse engineering process is going to help you make your business a reality, and also allow you to know that every step you're taking in your business, these sales goals you're trying to hit, everything like that, is all predicated on the business building exactly the lifestyle for you that you want and allowing you to live it. So now, this is your final homework. Do your numbers. Find your MIR, figure out what's going to work for your business, and then put it into action. Figure out the daily intake and start making that your priority. Okay? Now, your MIR month 1 does not have to actually hit your business income goal. That's fine. It probably won't. It may take you 3 or 4 months or more. That's okay, as long as you're still working towards it and you're adjusting as you go each month. You keep filling out these sheets with actual data, and you're going to see, okay, I'm growing here, I'm not growing here, I need to fix this. You can see exactly where the problem areas are, and then you can adjust. And you keep doing this stuff. This is not a one-time and done thing. We do these MIR worksheets at least every quarter, if not every month. Okay? Because it helps, especially when you're trying to build up to your big. Do it consistently every month until you get to your big and you're consistently at your big with what your monthly income is doing, what your business is doing. Okay. What do you think, guys? Do you think this is possible for you now? You think you can figure out how to map out your business to actually give you the lifestyle that you want? And that is why I wanted to do this today. It is December 20th, 2016. This is the Christmas week, right? New Year's is right around the corner. You're supposed to be doing your year-end planning to map out the next year now, or should have already done it before. So Rather than teach you something about how to run an ad or how to conversion rate optimize a page or something like that, I thought, hey, let's go back to fundamentals and help them build a business that's actually going to be there for them and something that they want and give them some light at the end of the tunnel. Okay? This is how you're going to do that. And this is what I want you to spend the next week, the next 2 weeks, up until New Year's or even the week after, focusing on. Figure this out. William, if you have crap products and they're, you're drop shipping and it's not working, doing this math will be like, hey, that's not working. Okay. And then you have to start plugging real stuff in and figuring out, hey, maybe I can't run for my goal, I can't run a AliExpress drop ship business that, I'm selling crap. Maybe I have to start selling real products. I need to start doing things right. I need to start building a business and not an income stream. This is going to help you figure that out. And even if you have to make changes, this will help you make those changes. All right. And it's not a bad thing, William. You're still doing you're just because you're doing that right now. So what? You just said you're spending a grand a day in ads and you're seeing a 3K return, so a 1-to-3 ratio. That's good. That's not bad. You have a skill set that you've developed in order to do that. Now just imagine what you could do if you were doing it with real products and a real business. So you've built the framework. And now I'm giving you the tools to make it even better. So it's just like all the guys who used to sell tons of t-shirts, okay? A lot of my black label guys and a lot of my, success stories that I've helped build ridiculous sized businesses, they were t-shirt sellers off Teespring and Viral Press and all that Viral Style and all of that stuff. Why? Because that's where they started. They were selling just flipping t-shirts and like, yeah, I'm making money, and then it crashed and they were freaking out. I'm like, don't worry about it. You learned a skill that's very good. You learned how to run traffic. Okay? You learned how to buy ads. Now you can build a real business. And boom. So you're not starting over, William. You may be finding new products, but you're definitely not starting over. So don't stress on that. Awesome. Xavier says, what are my favorite ways to generate passive income from a Shopify store? Get rid of the Shopify store and build a funnel. And then put the Shopify store on the back end and push people through your funnel into a continuity program and your other upsells. And then once they're already a customer of yours, then you can send them back to your store to buy your other products. Okay, guys, I got a couple more minutes. If you guys want to ask any questions or whatever else, or get some insight, or just say hi, whatever, let me know. I'll get this recording up for you guys as soon as possible. Raphael, I'm probably not going to make these slides available because the last time I gave slides to my Ecom Insider members, they wound up on a torrent site within about 10 minutes. So the video is one thing because I can control it, but the slides a little bit different. So it's and I know it's not you or anybody. I don't know who it is, but the piracy thing is just ridiculous. So we try to control that. Lester, great question. But Lester, guess what? Why I can't do that for you, buddy? Because you just canceled. I'm gonna beat you up over that. But yes, the other thing, guys, all the calculators, the business calculators, we are doing a set of videos to teach you how to use each of the calculators and how to link them together to use them in your business. Nate, the worksheet will be up at the same time as the video is up. So as soon as we're done here, I'll get it rendering and compressing. Then I'll get it uploaded. So it should be up for you by the end of today at the latest. So yeah, if you haven't used the business calculators, guys, definitely get in there and look at them. And then we're gonna do some detailed training videos on each of them so you know how to use them. We already did the free plus shipping calculator one is already done. That one will be up shortly, and then I'm making the other videos over the next week and into the next week after Christmas. Xavier, basically any type of recurring income that you can think of. I mean, it could be a buyer's club, a loyalty program, a discount club, a subscription box, a digital membership. There's tons of different varieties of continuity. It just literally depends on your niche, your market, and what fits with your business. We do a combination of different ones. We have a couple different varieties that we mix and match in our business. I love subscription boxes if you have the infrastructure for it. And then I also love digital continuities. Oz, if your products are dying inside of a month, then you're promoting trending products and not like solid products. Yeah, if your products are dying in a month or two, typically your product either it's trending or it's infringing. That's usually the two types of products that die out quick. So if it's either of those two, try to build your don't. I mean, you could. It's just going to create a lot more work if you have to keep creating new products or finding new products because you're promoting trends. What we suggest is find, evergreen products, promote those, build a business on evergreen products, and then capitalize on the trending products once you have a business structure in place that can support it, so that they add nice spurts of income and cash flow to your business, but they don't drop you back to zero when the trend ends. Raphael, you're welcome. Xavier, perfect. Okay, so you're in a super saturated market and you're selling something that people buy one or two per phone, maybe in the life of that phone, and then they wait. So you don't have the potential for a lot of repeat purchase and a lot of different things unless you're selling things different. But I know some people that are killing it. And one of my Black Label members, she's killing it in the cell phone accessory market, and her products are not dying out. It's all about structure and how you're approaching your advertising and things like that. Uh, Janet, yes, of course you could promote somebody else's product as an affiliate. You just couldn't do it in a funnel because obviously if it's their product, you can't sell it in a funnel. But you could always create one if you wanted to, but you don't have to. You could always there's all kinds of things. There's discount clubs, buyers clubs. Those are great. Look at Amazon Prime. That is a continuity program that we all love. Okay? And it's a yearly continuity instead of a monthly continuity, but it's still a continuity program. Okay, guys, let's see. We're going to wrap this up real quick. I'm going to go ahead and get this rendering. We've been at over an hour now, so let me get the render done. I'll get the compression done, and I'll get it uploaded for you guys. So if I don't talk to you before then, if I don't see you in the Facebook group or whatever, have a great holidays. Have a very Merry Christmas if you celebrate, and put this into action. Start doing this, and let's make sure that your 2017 is a completely different year for you. All right. Merry Christmas, guys.